guys, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about a program called DNRS. And if you've landed on this video, you've probably been doing some research on brain retraining, limbic system impairment, or you have chronic illness and you're just learning right now, trying to find some answers. I went through my own journey of trying to figure out what was going on with me, and as soon as I studied the concept of brain retraining and limbic system impairment, it all clicked for me. And usually that's how it happens for a lot of people. So as I was looking up different programs and things that I could join to give me more of a structure on learning and giving me tools that I can utilize in my life to help me to rewire my system, I landed on DNRS, and that was the first program that I tapped into. I had listened to a couple different coaches on Facebook, on YouTube, and I joined the app called Curable. Curable has been a pretty awesome app for me. I definitely like the layout. I like what it has to offer, but it's not a structured program. It's definitely a tool, and I used that in the very beginning to really introduce myself to this whole new concept that I was learning. So the first program that I bought into was DNRS, and part of the reason why is because as I was doing my research, I was finding that Annie Hopper was kind of the founder of this whole concept. Maybe not the concept of brain retraining, but just the concept of using these tools and techniques in a structured program type of thing. So another thing that led me to DNRS was the fact that I did not have the funds to pay for this really huge, extensive coaching program or pay for multiple sessions with a one-on-one coach. Often people that are dealing with limbic system impairment are struggling to pay their bills due to spending so much money on their medical issues or no longer being able to work, and that was definitely me. Now, DNRS, I only paid about $350, and that was just for the videos. That did not include any one-on-one coaching or any groups or anything like that. So I got the videos sent to my email, and I was able to click on those and watch those from my phone. So that totally worked for me, because at this time I was completely bedridden and I didn't really have the capacity to move around too much. I needed something that was going to be easy and accessible for me when I'm laying down. My first impressions of the program was that I was so happy that they were short little snippets that wasn't going to be too overwhelming for me. So each video varies in length from like 6 minutes maybe to like 20 minutes or something like that. They're not very long videos, so because they were in bite sizes, I didn't feel too overwhelmed with it. They seemed a little dated. The graphics weren't super modern, or maybe some of the terminology was a little bit dated. It wasn't a big enough deal to where I didn't want to do the program. I watched the videos and I found myself rushing through the videos because I wanted to hurry up and get to like the meat and potatoes. I wanted to hurry up and get to the point where I was getting these tools that I could use to fast forward my healing, because that's all that I was concerned with. I was just like, I just want to get better. It was causing me a lot of anxiety because I was putting so much pressure on myself to get through things. Another thing that I noticed about this program is they are pretty strict. So with their recommendations, they're not necessarily suggestions. They're strong recommendations, and you feel a sense of pressure that if you don't do things exactly the way that they recommend, that you are not going to build new neural pathways in your mind and you're not going to heal. So because of me having a bit of a perfectionism element to myself, I put a lot of pressure on completing these tasks and doing them right. And that is really difficult when you are lacking the capacity to do a lot of brain work. Every day I would try to do things for the length of time that was recommended. And every day I would struggle just to get like a small percentage of that length of time done. And so every day I would feel stressed that I wasn't doing enough. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough to even heal. I'm putting in all this effort, and this is all that I feel like I have the capacity to do right now. And I'm not gonna heal because I'm not doing enough. I really struggled with the visualizations. Now, if you have not paid for DNRS yet, a big part of the program is visualizations. And the best way I can explain it is you have to come up with these stories of your past and of your future, like what you want for your future. And you have to come up with these stories to verbally say out loud. Think about all of these details such as smell, taste, sound, feel, like the weather, the temperature, all of these things that really help you to fully experience this memory or this vision. Often when you have limbic system impairment, it is very difficult for your mind to go to these details. Oftentimes your mind just goes to negative places. So that alone can be really overwhelming, and that was definitely the case for myself. I struggled with the visualizations, and so sometimes I would barely get a few done, and sometimes I wouldn't get them done at all. And all that did was reinforce that feeling of I'm not doing enough, I'm not getting this done properly, therefore I'm not going to heal. I can honestly say the DNRS was a great program for me to get my foot in the door. So it really helped me to learn a lot about neuroscience, the way that the brain works, the way that the brain communicates to the body, and how our thoughts are so incredibly powerful. Now, I knew the concept of your thoughts being powerful based on biblical scripture, but I didn't really understand the weight of what that meant and the consequences of not taking every thought captive. I will say that I went through the entire program and I felt very overwhelmed, I felt lost, and I felt like I needed something more. I felt like there was something missing. DNRS, what they focus on is top-down techniques. If you don't know what top-down techniques are, it means that you are learning techniques that are brain to body. So you are learning a lot about your mind and your thoughts. I learned pretty quickly on that I needed more body to mind techniques, bottom up techniques you can find in a lot of trauma therapy programs. So I knew that I needed the trauma therapy element. After that, I really sought out programs that were going to give me that puzzle piece that I felt like I was missing, that I personally needed. I know a lot of people do DNRS by itself, and they do great. They have great results. It works for them. Everybody's body is different. I also know of a lot of people that started with DNRS and it got their foot in the door, they learned a lot, and then they moved on to another program, like what happened to me. From the time that I started DNRS on Thanksgiving of 2022. Went through all the videos and did the program, like did some of the practices and everything for about a month, maybe about a month. So it wasn't super long that I was in the program. If you are looking into this whole concept of brain retraining, limbic system impairment, mind-body syndrome, nervous system dysregulation, there's so many different names for the things that go on in our body that are not very easily diagnosed by doctors. If you are looking into DNRS, and if you have the funds, I would say start there. And then from there, you can learn what your body needs to move forward. You may not need anything else, or you may need something else like I did. I'm going to keep sharing more about my journey. So if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and subscribe and follow me, and like this video, tune in for more, because I'm going to be really open and give an honest review about everything that I do, and let me know if there's more things that you want to hear about from my experience, and I will share those with you. I hope they help somebody. But thanks you guys for listening.